Hello and welcome. This video is a supplement for my students at Portland Community College in the Pain Relief Gentle Yoga class, as well as for anyone who feels that the level of their pain that they're experiencing is getting in the way of the rest of their life. I hope that you'll read the blog post that accompanies this practice, as well as the post on pain alarm systems. Something to be aware of as we move through this practice together, and then hopefully you'll practice afterwards, is the idea that you might start feeling that this isn't quite enough to make any change in your pain levels. Something else to watch is that we might intellectualize the ideas and feel like, okay, we've got that. We might do the practices and say, well, that was pretty simple, I've got that. And while those ingredients, the ideas and the movement are essential, what's going to really help make the change is repetition, right? It might be the hardest thing to come back to a simple practice and want to do it again. But the nervous system will really respond to repetition, and that's how change will come about. So this is the first of 5 practices that will be working with principles of movement as they pertain to yoga and finding pain relief and management. So the first principle, our first approach, is ease and awareness. We want to move in a way that sends signals to our nervous system that we're going to be safe in our movements. So if we take a movement, for example, arms overhead, and I feel a glitch or a pain or tension rising in another part of my body, then I'm going to give myself the chance to back out. No shame in backing out a bit. It's the name of the game at this point. Repetitions as well, if I'm going into a second or third repetition and the movement just doesn't feel like it's for you in this moment today, and just hold on and jump in the practice again as you feel that you're able to. So this practice is appropriate for the chair. You could use props underneath your seat or the floor if I'm sitting on a blanket. The first choice for ease and awareness is, what kind of seat can I find that brings me the most ease in my hips and my spine and my jaw. So taking a moment to find that for yourself. And as you do find that seat, we're going to use a feedback loop for our breath. Either hands, a hand on the front ribs or the back ribs, or you could find a strap. So it could be a belt, it could be a tie. If you're using the strap, you want to make sure that it's very loose and you're just kind of holding on to it in a relaxed way. So I'll use the strap. If you're using your hands, one will go on the front, one will go on the back. And I find it helpful to close my eyes. It just drops me out of kind of external inputs and lets me have my internal gaze into where I want to focus on. And I want to focus on my ribs and my breath. And then just noticing if the pace of my breath is fast, and I ask it to slow down. It might take a few breaths to respond. And then just by noticing the breath, many times we could start making the breath really big. So if I've started making my breath really big, I'm going to back off that and see if the pace can be a gentle pace and a natural kind of efforting or not efforting. And then notice, bring your awareness to the low back bottom ribs. can I breathe that space into my backhand or into the back strap? And you'll probably feel, if you breathe into the back, you will probably feel the rest of the rib basket expand. So the side ribs, front ribs, back ribs. And again, noticing if the pace is quickened, or if you're trying to make the breath really large again. No judgment, just a noticing and a backing off. Nice. So 3 more breaths. Your pace, your natural breath. Coming in waves. And as you're ready, you can drop your hands by your sides, or if you've been using the strap, you can drop that by your side. So we'll bring a bend to the elbows, if you would, and let the elbows come back. Notice if you're coming all the way back, just maybe come halfway. And then hands and elbows coming forward. And again, notice if you want to come all the way forward, can you bring the elbows just kind of a medium way together? And then inhale, elbows back, maybe a lift of the heart. And exhale, hands and elbows coming towards each other. They don't have to meet. So as elbows come back, there's a bit of lift of the heart and a little bit of gliding of the shoulder blades together at the back. Nice. If the neck or the shoulder blades or between the shoulders is meeting tension, if you're trying really hard to bring those together, see if you can make that not a requirement of this movement. Notice the elbows coming together spreads the space between the shoulder blades. Nice, and inhale. It's a bit of a cow, extension to the spine, and the elbows coming towards each other is a very small cat, or a flexing of the spine. All right, elbows towards each other, lift. Elbows towards each other at the front, a rounding between the shoulder blades. Nice. 2 more like this. Notice with repetition, is there tension building or is there ease building? If there's tension building, can you back off a bit or maybe not do quite so many repetitions with me? Nice. And then let's bring the elbows back a bit and circle the hands out, up, and together. Great. So here, noticing, does this bring tension into my feet or my neck or my jaw? Okay. If those things are happening, then see if you could bring the elbows behind you and maybe the hands to the shoulders and elbows around. Great, so maybe these are just like shoulder circles or elbow circles. Great, if you're here, elbows behind, a lift of the heart. Exhale, elbows towards each other. Feel that space between the shoulder blades. Great. So we're still working with the breath. Back ribs, side ribs, forward ribs. Great. And if you're moving up overhead with the hands, lift of the heart, elbows towards each other. Great. Be generous with yourself, making those choices that brings ease into the movement, into your breath. Drop the weight of you into your seat best you can. Nice. And then coming with the hands on the lap. Great. So a little twisting, bringing the right hand around to the left knee. Notice where the heart goes and if there's tension in the shoulders. Nice. So notice where you've come and see how it feels to breathe into the low back, bottom ribs, side ribs, front ribs. And then even if you can be here with ease, go ahead and back out about an inch. So the heart might come back out of the twist about an inch. Breathe here. Notice the relative tension or ease throughout the body, the back side, the jaw, the neck. Great. And then slide into a little bit bigger twist. And back out just a bit. Nice. And then notice what felt more at ease while still being in a twist, while still performing a twist. And then be there. Maybe it was coming into a little bit bigger twist. Maybe it was that point that you came out. Any distance, right? Great. And then coming back to center. And we'll go with the left hand towards the right knee this time. Notice if you want to leverage yourself into a big twist. So we're not doing that today. So just relying on whatever the obliques, your waist muscles, can give to you. Great. Notice if you're holding in your hips. See if you can let that go. Breathe into the rib basket. And even if you can be here, see if you can back the heart out just a bit of the twist. Maybe the hand's not reaching quite so far. Nice. Come into the twist a bit more. Breathe here. Come out of the twist. Breathe here. Nice. And then making the choice, the easeful choice for you today. Each side might be different. Nice. And as you're ready, the heart comes forward. Great. A little bit of side bending. Let the right hand come to the shoulder and bring the elbow up just a bit at an angle. Nice. And then come on out. Elbow comes down. Great. We're going to do that 2 more times. Elbow out and up. This will bring you into just very shallow side bend. Great. Last one. Let's pay attention to our breath. Nice, and coming to the other side. Great. Even if you can go a little bit further, see if you can challenge yourself to do smaller movements. Great. Just kind of setting a baseline, right, from which to work from. Not getting ahead of ourselves. So many times we can just kind of use momentum to come in and out of postures and we don't really know how we got there, or if we felt good coming in and out of it. Sometimes we'll not notice that we did too much until after the practice. Great. And coming out of that and sitting with your breath, eyes closed, dropping the weight of you. Notice the pace of your breath. Notice if the breath is large. Can you ease out of a quick pace or a large breath? Notice the hands, the feet, the heaviness of your bones. Nice. 2 more waves of breath. From the inhale, expanding out. Follow the exhale as it dissipates. And finding your way back if your eyes have been closed. So this has been ease and awareness, and this approach helps our nervous system understand we're not going to move too far too fast, so it doesn't need to protect us from a possible threat of feeling pain or harming ourselves. I hope that you'll practice this a couple more times before class, and we will incorporate this into our full practice. Great, so move with ease and awareness, and I'll see you next time.